Hello everybody, Donnie here, and welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. I hope all of you are doing well and fine today. We're going to dive right into this. This is actually the continuation of the previous two stories. Original post. I know I did something awful and disgusting, and when I couldn't take the guilt anymore, I cut off my affair partner and confessed everything to my husband. He got more upset and depressed than angry, and I begged for him to not divorce me. I proposed counseling, therapy, even allowing him to have sex with other women, but he wasn't interested. He said he wanted to try to work us out, and I jumped in being the best wife a man can ask for. I cook his favorite dishes, leave him loving notes, bought new lingerie to entice him. His reactions are lukewarm at best. He smiles and thanks me, but not once has he said that he loves me since I've confessed. He barely initiates anything, and I basically have to push myself on him, not that he complains. Sometimes we talk about this, but I think I still lost the man that I love. His behavior with me feels very artificial, and nothing changes his facade. I can be playful, I can be sad, I can get angry, and I can be seductive. His reaction is always this stupid smile and polite words. He was so emotional and sincere before all of this happened. I want him to let out his true emotions with me, even if he hates me. I still love him so much. What can I do to fix this? I'm not sure that there's anything that you can really do to ever fix this. You cheated on him. Now for the comments before reading the update. OP, is this a troll post? If not, please share some details. How long have you been together and how long was the affair? Who is the other man? Coworker? OP. We have been married for 5 years. My affair lasted a couple of months, and it was with a client. Okay, thank you. What do you mean by cutting off the affair? Is this person still a client? Do you have to have business and contact with him? Are you seeing a therapist? Do you know why you strayed? I ended my relationship with the client and passed his contract to a coworker. No contact ever since. I've been doing individual therapy. I don't know why I did all this. My body felt like it was on autopilot. Now for the updates. Update 1. He knows I cheated. We didn't separate, and I begged him to not divorce and let me fix this. He agreed, but his behavior since my confession was basically been one of indifference. Like I wrote in my last post, I do my best to be the best wife he could ask for. I cook his favorite foods, get him gifts, screw his brains out every night. He just smiles and thanks me. He acts kind and never yells at me, but I feel his icy indifference under that mask of courtesy. 2 weeks ago, he started coming home late, very late, and when he does, he just goes to bed. I asked him what's going on, and he told me in the kindest way possible that it's none of my business. I call him when he stays out, and he picked up only once. I heard a woman laughing in the background. I'm starting to think he is cheating back on me. It effing hurts. If he told me at least, I would do my best to stomach it. I deserve this after all. But he won't tell me. He just shuts me out. A common friend told me he spotted him in a car with a woman she didn't recognize, and this felt like a stab in the heart. She said that she couldn't describe her exactly because she wore big sunglasses, but she recognized my husband because of his particular taste in neckties. They were talking, but my friend said that from their position, it looked like that they were holding hands or one of them was touching the other's lap. I don't know what to do. If he is having an affair, I deserve it, but I need to know. The uncertainty is killing me. Should I confront him? Should I try to find out more? Update 2. He left me. I did like you guys said and begged him to talk to me. He didn't want to, but I cried and yelled so much I puked all over. He got softer with me. He helped me clean up and we talked. I asked him if he was cheating on me, and he said that he was talking with someone but didn't do anything with her. I asked if she was the woman my friend saw him with. He thought on it a little but said no, it was another woman whom he met a month ago in his office. I asked him how could he, and said I gave him permission, and he didn't do anything besides unloading his problems and our situation with her. But he played it like he was having a full affair so I could feel what he felt, especially because, according to him, I neglected him and made it obvious I was cheating on him. He said he was suffering and I was almost rubbing it in his face. I told him I wasn't doing it on purpose, and he said this was even worse because I didn't care at all. He said that everything I did after confessing meant nothing and just made him think that I am selfish, self-centered, and lack any sort of self-respect. I asked him if we could work on myself and our marriage, but he said we can have counseling to sort ourselves out, but the marriage is over. He said he wishes no ill of me and decided to cut his charade because he could no longer bear to the woman he once loved suffer like that. But he said I am no longer that woman. I started sobbing again and he held me, but he kept saying no when I asked him if we could work this out. I asked him what he was going to do and he's moving out. He already found a new place. I asked him if he was going to live with that woman and he said that he was, but she was close enough. I asked him how he could pick a total stranger he had met a month ago over his wife of 5 years. Well, that's pretty easy. He said his wife of 5 years no longer exists. He has to pick between two strangers, and that woman made a much better impression on him. I told him he was a fool and he could not know this woman will probably use and dump him. He got harsh and said she's better than me for sure. He said he won't say to our families our marriage ended because I cheated, but because we grew apart and that he will leave the house to me as long as I make the divorce smooth. But if I try to take him to the cleaners, drag it out, or cause any problems, he will tell everyone what I did and destroy me and my reputation. This happened yesterday and he has already packed up almost everything. I can't stop crying and I can't believe this is happening. This is horrible and unfair. You are the one that cheated, so what do you expect? Update 3. This feels like a nightmare. I keep telling myself it's not real and I'm going to wake up. My husband moved out 2 weeks ago ostensibly to live with another woman, but I kept eye and eats on him, had some friends tell me his going-ons, and seemingly there was no other woman at all. I hoped he was just collecting his thoughts and that he would come back to me. But today he did it. He had me served. I don't want to believe he is done with us. I love him so much and I miss him every day. Again, this is your fault and you need to take accountability for what you did. Update 4. My husband and I are getting divorced because of my infidelity, and I realized I could have tried to salvage our marriage if I did differently after I confessed. Instead, my behavior just pushed him away further and resulted in us getting divorced. We have talked a couple of times since he moved out and I got served. He says that if I keep this level of civility, we can keep talking and not have to go exclusively through lawyers for communication, although we have to for the divorce. I apologize for everything that I've done, and as much as I don't want a divorce, I will go along with anything he wants to demonstrate I do love him, and even after the divorce, my door will always be open for him. He said he actually believes me, and although he's not changing his mind about our divorce, he wishes for me to find happiness. He wanted to leave me the house, but I don't want it due to the memories, so we agreed to sell it off. My lawyer tried to talk me into pursuing all kinds of stuff from my husband and get more. I just told them that I don't want that and I can find another lawyer if he wants to pursue that path. I am taking time off work for myself, and although I am not better, it helps to feel a little less sucky. I heard from the grapevine that my husband is indeed in a new relationship, and at this point, I just hope this woman is making him happy and helping him heal. As for myself, I just want to focus on my new life and rebuilding what I can. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for not telling my wife about an incident with her best friend plus update? Original post. I want to be very sensitive when writing it here, but I have been dealing with unbearable guilt and wanted to know if what I'm doing is wrong. I really do not want to trigger anyone, but I will be writing about a very sad situation. I, 33 male, have been married to my wife, 31 female, for 6 years, and we have a 3-year-old kid. We are very happy together, and I am lucky to be married to a very kind and smart woman. My wife's best friend, Anna, fake name for anonymity, has been living with us for the last 6 months. I wanted to talk about Anna to give a full context of why I'm making my decision. Anna is my wife's best friend since school days. Anna was living in the city with her boyfriend, and we live in the suburbs of that city. They seemed happy together and were in a relationship for 2 years. However, my wife noticed bruises on Anna's hand last year and asked her about it. Initially, Anna dismissed it as work-related injuries. My wife kept probing, and we learned that Anna was in an extremely toxic and abusive relationship. Her boyfriend lost his job last year and became extremely controlling and abusive towards her. He constantly accused her of cheating. Anna denies it. Made her link her phone messenger to his computer and started micromanaging finances. There was an incident of domestic violence that was the final straw, and my wife and I had to rush to the hospital to look after Anna. Since Anna's parents were mostly absent from her life, my wife asked me if Anna could stay with us for a few days. We are 3 people living in a 4-bedroom house and have 2 spare guest rooms. I, of course, agreed to it and told her that Anna can stay with us as long as she wants. I think the incident completely broke Anna, and she would just start crying randomly and completely shut down. It was really sad to see Anna in that state. She had to leave her job due to mental issues and stayed at home in the room all day. My wife was very kind and took care of Anna like she was family and made sure that she felt loved. Anna is also thankful to my wife and I to help her during her worst time and helps out around the house and with her kid, though we never leave him alone with Anna. Anna is now coming back to normal, smiles sometimes, and has started looking for a job again. Now on to the incident. Last Friday, my wife and I went back to work as normal and dropped her son off at daycare. I had a doctor's appointment at noon and came straight home from there as I did not have a lot of work in the office. I made some lunch and then went to my room to sit in my bed and reply to all the emails. Anna was in her room and I did not talk to her after I came home. Around 2 p.m., I heard Anna's room door open and her walking in the hallway. Suddenly, our bedroom door opened and Anna walked in topless and just in her underwear. I was shocked and not sure how long I was staring at her, but after a few seconds I blurted out, "I am sorry," and she quickly covered herself with her hands. She was apologetic and started explaining herself. She said that she just wanted to borrow my wife's clothes because her laundry was unwashed. It was super embarrassing to have a conversation with her in that state, and I looked away. She again apologized and then went out of the bedroom. The incident lasted less than 2 minutes. After a while, she again came back into her bedroom, fully dressed, and apologized for the incident. She said it was really embarrassing and she did not know anyone will be home. I said it's okay and I should have told her that I'm back early from the office when I came home. She asked me to not mention about the incident to my wife. She said that she feels embarrassed she walked around the hallway without clothes and that I saw her in that state. I said it's okay and let's forget about it. I have not told my wife about the incident and it's been 5 days. It was just a benign incident, but I somehow feel guilty about the whole thing. My question is why? You didn't do anything wrong. I feel more guilty that I'm lying to my wife by omission of the truth. However, I feel that if my wife takes it the wrong way, it may strain her relationship with Anna, and I really feel bad for her, what she had to go through. I also do not want to make Anna uncomfortable in her house by telling my wife about her barging into her bedroom in that state. Am I the a-hole in this case for not talking about this incident to my wife? I'm afraid that if Anna tells it to her first, it will make me look really bad and guilty. That's why you should probably talk to her about it. However, if I tell her, I do not want her to blame Anna for any of this and not help her in time of her need. Can someone please help me on how I can tell my wife about this? Just tell her the truth. She didn't know that you were home, so no one is guilty in this situation. Now for the update. I wrote a post yesterday about an embarrassing situation that happened between my wife's best friend, who is currently staying at her house. I was not sure how to bring it up to my wife, and you guys really helped me a lot in understanding the urgency of telling my wife. I also got some cool ideas on how to bring up the subject without making it awkward for anyone. For everyone saying Anna was doing it on purpose, I did not agree with it, as I am an extremely average-looking person and women don't chase me. However, things since last night have been just crazy and I think I'm spiraling a bit. Sorry for the long post. So I decided to tell my wife last night as soon as she came home about the incident. I like the idea of jokingly bringing up casually so that we both can laugh about it and then forget about it. Last night when my wife came home, I made sure I stayed in our bedroom. I asked Anna if she could stay with my kid downstairs. As my wife was changing, I asked her if Anna could still borrow her clothes. Anna had to borrow them regularly when she first moved, long story, My wife told me yes, and she has told Anna that she can take anything from her closet if she needs it. I asked my wife if Anna told her about the funny incident from Friday. My wife said no, and I told her the whole story about how I came home early and Anna came into the room almost naked to get her clothes and how embarrassing it was for both of us. As my wife was listening to this, she completely froze and turned pale. She started murmuring in Spanish, which is her and Anna's native language. I don't understand Spanish really well, but I understood the words hombre casado and otra vez. I asked her if she is okay, and she sat next to me and asked me to explain things in detail. I just told her it was nothing. She must not have heard me coming in. I was just trying to laugh it off, but my wife had water in her eyes. I kept on telling her it was not a big deal, but she kept on asking me for more details. She asked me how Anna talks to me. I told her that Anna barely talks to me since she moved in, except a few words here and there. My wife then asked me about 3 weeks ago when my wife had gone to visit her parents for 4 days. Anna did not want to go with her and stayed back. I told her that Anna was just acting normal. She or I would cook dinner after I got home from work while the other took care of the kid. The only thing different was Anna generally spending her evening in her room. However, when I was sitting in the living room watching TV after the kids slept, Anna came and sat on the sofa next to me but did not talk to me. I asked her if she wants me to change the channel or stream something that she likes, and she just said that she wanted to get out of her room. However, she did not flirt with me or do anything unusual. I kept on telling my wife that it was just an accident, and I really did not understand why she reacted so emotionally to it. My wife refused to answer and just said okay and agreed with me. However, she told me that I should have told her about the incident sooner and should not keep any secrets from her and gave me a big lecture. I told her that I did not think it was a big deal and I thought Anna would tell her, but glad I brought it up. After dinner, my wife messaged Anna to join us, and she came out. While talking, my wife brought up the incident and told Anna that I mentioned about the incident, and she does not need to feel embarrassed. Such things happen when we are all in the same house, and it's not that big of a deal. Anna was firstly taken by surprise, but then told my wife she was just scared to tell her because she thought my wife would judge her because of her past. My wife gave her a stare, and she quickly changed the topic. At night, I asked my wife what the hell was going on. I told her to please not keep any secrets from me, and if she does not tell me, I will directly ask Anna about what her past has got to do with anything. My first guess was Anna might have had a thing for me before we got married or something, but my wife was very reluctant to answer and kept on trying to change the subject and cuddle. However, I kept being persistent and she finally spilled the beans. Apparently, when Anna was in her early 20s, she was in a relationship with a married coworker who was twice her age. It was kind of a sugar daddy relationship, and he told her that he was in an open relationship, or that's what Anna told my wife, and he would leave his wife in a few years once the kids go to college. This makes sense now because Anna is very pretty, like Miss USA level, and I never understood why she was single for most of the time that I knew her. She eventually ended that relationship and started dating her boyfriend Jim, who turned out to be an abusive a-hole. My wife said that she suspects Anna was still involved with the older guy while in a relationship with Jim, which explains why he kept on accusing her of cheating. That is why my wife became emotional when I told her what Anna did, because she was worried Anna has no boundaries regarding married men. My wife said that Anna always looked up to us and praises me for being such a loyal partner and how lucky my wife is. My wife was worried initially when she brought Anna home, but her actions from the time when my wife was away clearly shows that she respects the boundaries, and it must have been an accident. My wife told me she is grateful I let Anna live in her house and observe what a healthy and happy marriage looks like. This morning was even more weird. I got up early as I could not sleep well and went down for a cup of coffee. After 5 minutes, Anna walked into the kitchen and told me she was relieved my wife did not overreact to Friday's incident. She said I'm a good husband and gave me a hug and a peck on the cheeks. She has never hugged me in the last 6 months. She seemed to be in a happy mood and was making small talk with me while having coffee. I cannot believe my wife did not tell me such a huge detail about Anna after all these years. It's completely possible she cheated all through the relationship with Jim, and my wife is just covering for her all along. She even kept it a secret from me, after giving me a lecture about how we should never have secrets, and I don't know what else she is hiding. Everything just seems very confusing at this point. I feel angry at my wife for lying to me all these years for Anna. I also now see Anna differently. I'm also worried that me trivializing the incident to my wife might have sent wrong signals to Anna. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for never telling my mother I married into money? I, 34 female, have a difficult relationship with my mother. She had me when she was 17 and was addicted to various substances when I was growing up. She'd leave me with whoever would watch me for days on end, and I'd end up mostly raising myself. I left home at 16 and couch surfed with various friends until I was able to get my own place. At 25, I met my now husband, and we got married 3 years later. His family is the polar opposite of mine and are incredible, so loving and warm. I honestly consider his parents mine and call them mom and dad. They also happen to be quite well off, but that isn't something I care about. I mentioned it only because it matters to the story. Last year, my mother reached out to me after a decade of not speaking to her, wanting to reconnect and introduce me to my little sister, who was 2 years old. I was confused as I hadn't even known that she had been pregnant, but it seems she'd been a change of life baby. I thought maybe she'd turned over a new leaf, and if not, I wanted to make sure the kid was okay. At first, it seemed like things had changed, and she was trying. This illusion lasted for the first few visits over 6 months when she broke down, told me she couldn't do this, and asked me to take my sister. My husband and I had long talked about it, but we'd been struggling with fertility and had been considering adoption anyway. We told her if we were doing this, we were doing it right, and we had his family's lawyer ensure it was a legal adoption and airtight, which took several months. My in-laws adore her and consider her their granddaughter. They even set up a trust fund for her. We have allowed my mother one supervised visit per month, so she's not totally cut off from my sister, but it was during those visits that things went badly, as she saw how she was dressed and the toys that she had, and realized they were expensive. She began to rip into us for hiding the fact that we have money, and how we'd just given her money, then she would not have given us my sister, or she could have taken care of her better. I told her while we have some money, it's mostly my husband's parents' money, not ours, so she had no right to know about it. Also that I wouldn't have given her money anyway, as I didn't trust her. She broke down calling me a selfish bitch who'd never considered how hard things were for her. I now feel some guilt. My husband has told me if I want to make me feel better, he'd give her money, but that seems like a bad idea, as she'd likely use it badly or blow through it and then expect more. Despite this, I do feel bad. Maybe I should have tried to help her more now that my luck is better, or maybe I should have been honest with her. Am I the a-hole for keeping this from her? That's all for today. If you're enjoying this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you.